Fairs and festivals of India. The fairs and festivals of India are quite unique. They reflect the long heritage of India. The book published by Gakkan Company Limited, Tokyo, Japan, gives an excellent account of 23 fairs and festivals of India. The author, Morihiro Oki, a Japanese professional photographer, took great pain in compiling this book. The book has numerous live photographs, and the account provided is authentic. I am proud to bring this book to your attention through this video. Pongal. Pongal is a 3-day harvest festival observed in Tamil Nadu in the month of January. It is one of the most colorful events of South India. During Pongal, the sun is worshipped to signify its movement from Cancer to Capricorn. On Mattu Pongal, cows and bullocks, highly prized in a rural society, are fed harvested rice as part of the Thanksgiving ceremony. In some towns of the south, the festival is climaxed by a kind of bullfight when young men try to wrest bundles of currency notes from the horns of a ferocious bull. Ganga Sagar Mela. Ganga Sagar Mela is observed in West Bengal in the month of January near the mouth of river Ganges. Where the river Ganges meets the ocean Bay of Bengal, every year a Mela is held on the day of Makar Sankranti. Numerous pilgrims come to attend from all over India. The island is dedicated to sage Kapil. The story of sage Kapil is described with the story of Bhagirath and Ganges. The image of sage Kapil is painted red during the festival. Baneshwar Fair. The Baneshwar Fair, held in Rajasthan on the full moon night between the months of January and February. Thousands of wheel tribe people join together at the junction of two rivers, Som and Mahi, in Rajasthan. They immerse ashes of their relatives died during that year as a memorial service. After that, they bathe in the river to clean themselves and then worship at the temple where God Shiva has been established. Whales live mainly in mountains near boundaries of Rajasthan, Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh. They believe that they are the descendants of Lord Shiva. Holi. The festival of Holi comes between February and March. It is the most boisterous of Indian festivals. The festival is associated with Lord Krishna. Jubilant crowds fill the streets, squirting colored water on people, regardless of age, caste or creed. In West Bengal, at the center of Vishwabharati University, located near Calcutta, Holi is celebrated in a unique way. All girl students dress up in saffron saris and give dance performances to the public in the open. At the end, they smear colored powder on each other. In Rajasthan, all Rajputs shake off their status, mingle with all the persons of their area, and play with dry colors. This is the day when youngsters have an opportunity to go close to the elders and sprinkle colors on them. The aboriginals of Gujarat, known as Rathwa tribes, come to the small town of Kavand wearing red turbans and play flutes and music of their villages. Many people paint their faces and bodies in white and black color using various designs and play a variety of tribal dances. Gangaur. The Gangaur festival is held between the months of March and April, about a fortnight after Holi. The celebration is in honor of Parvati, the consort of Lord Shiva. Gaily attired young girls, gracefully balancing brass pitchers on their heads, wind their way to the temple of Gauri, another name of Parvati, for the ceremonial bath of the deity, who is then bedecked with flowers. Women pray for a long life and well-being of their husbands. Puram. Puram is one of the most spectacular temple festivals in Kerala, South India, and is observed between the months of April and May. It starts at the twilight when it descends on the temple of Vadakkumnathan, which is another name of Shiva. The temple is located atop a hillock near Trichur. 30 richly decorated elephants carrying umbrellas and fanned by whisks stride out through the temple gate. The elephant in the center carries the processional image of the temple deity Vadakkumnathan. And with the sound of trumpets and pipes, the elephants go around the temple. Ratha Yatra. Ratha Yatra is held in July at Puri. Puri is located in the state of Orissa. Ratha Yatra festival is held in honor of Lord Jagannath, Lord of the universe, a form of Krishna. The fair attracts thousands of pilgrims from all parts of the country. The most impressive part of the festival is the chariot procession. 3 richly decorated temple chariots, resembling temple structures, are drawn through the streets of Puri by thousands of pilgrims. In each chariot is seated a different deity: Jagannath, his brother Balaram or Balabhadra, and sister Subhadra. Tej. Tej is an important festival in Rajasthan state. It is also observed in many other parts of Uttar Pradesh. The festival comes between the months of July and August. Like Gangaur, The festival is dedicated to Parvati. It is a seasonal festival to greet the advent of monsoon, bringing succor to the parched land. Women attired in bright costumes flock to swings hung from trees. Villagers from the surrounding regions turn up to see the procession of the goddess Parvati taken through the town. In the countryside of Rajasthan, the lilt of songs fills the air. There is a traditional custom to apply mehndi on the hands and feet of women. Mehndi is made from the powder of the leaves of henna, which is kneaded with acacia oil and applied with a wooden stick on the hands and feet. After being allowed to dry for a few hours, it produces reddish patterns and remain for a week or two.
पान चढ़े फूल चढ़े और चढ़े मेवा पान चढ़े फूल चढ़े और चढ़े मेवा लड्डुअन का भोग लगे संत करे
Ganesh Chaturthi. Ganesh Chaturthi is celebrated with tremendous enthusiasm in Maharashtra and particularly in and around Bombay. The celebration occurs between the months of August and September. Ganesh, the deity with an elephant's head, is the god of good omen, worshipped by most Hindus. Clay models of the deity are worshipped and taken out in grand procession with the sound of cymbals and drums. The beautifully crafted images, sometimes 8 meters high, are finally immersed in sea or lake. Tarnetar Fair. Tarnetar Fair is held in Saurashtra, which comes between the months of August and September. The fair is still a kind of marriage market, giving a charming twist to the market aspect of the most fairs for the tribes of the area, Kolis, Rabaris and Bharwars. Chalo Tarnetar, Bhalsotyan Parnetar is the theme. It means come to Tarnetar and there you will find your sweetheart. It reflects the mood of adventure and enjoyment here. People bathe in the waters of the temple tanks of the Tarneshwar temple and a huge fair takes place. Apart from buying and selling, the major features are performances of traditional Gujarati dances called Garwa. Onam. Onam is Kerala's greatest festival. It is primarily a harvest festival and is celebrated with tremendous enthusiasm. It is not only in every home but also out in the open against the background of lush green tropical vegetation. The most exciting feature of the festival is the snake boat race, held at several places on palm-fringed lagoons. Various kinds of boats take part in the thrilling contest. Dasera. Dasera is one of the most brilliant fairs in India, held between September and October for 10 successive days in various places of India under the unique style of each state. In Mysore, located in South India, the gorgeous parade, which invites an audience of all ages, starts from the palace of former feudal lord Maharaja. In earlier days, the Maharaja used to ride on the richly decorated elephant, but nowadays the elephant carries the goddess Parvati, wife of Shiva. When night falls, beautiful illuminations show up at the palace in the dark sky, and this spectacle of illuminations, reminiscent of the prosperity of the feudal age, pleases the eyes of the large audience. In Delhi, effigy of Ravan, killed by Ram on this day, is burnt. In Uttar Pradesh, especially in Varanasi, the Dasera festival is celebrated through Ram Leela that dramatizes the life of Ram in Ramayana. The royal family, Maharaja of Kashi, participates as a spectator. Durga Puja. In West Bengal and other parts of eastern India, Dasera is celebrated as Durga Puja. It comes between the months of September and October. Of the 10 days of celebration, the last 5 days are the peak days of worship in honor of Devi Durga, the goddess of Hindu pantheon. Durga represents cosmic dynamics and animates all things. As Durga, she is the war goddess of the pantheon, perpetually at war with evil, represented by demons of whom the most formidable was Mahisha. Mahisha attacked her in the form of snorting buffalo. People don new clothes and are entertained with music, dance and drama. On the last day, images of goddess Durga are taken out in procession and immersed in water. Diwali. The celebration of Diwali comes between October and November, 15 days after Dasera, on the new moon day. It is the gayest of all Indian festivals and the most popular with Indian children. After dark, every city, town and villages are turned into a fairyland. Every home and public building is illuminated with many oil lamps and electric lights. On this night, many Hindus, especially on the central and western part of India, worship Lakshmi, the goddess of prosperity. In West Bengal, they worship Kali, the goddess of strength. Diwali is also noisiest of all Indian festivals, as countless firecrackers explode throughout the night. Chhath Puja. Chhath Puja is the deviation from Chhatra Puja. This comes twice a year between October and November and between April and May. It is more popular in Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. Women make vows to Surya, the sun god, promising to perform certain rituals in exchange for special favors. On the auspicious day, the women who made vows take their offerings of food, flour, and coconuts to the nearest major water source. They wade into water and pray, carrying their offerings, after which the devotee and food are considered blessed. To fulfill their part of a vow, the devotee might have to crawl on the ground to the temple. Pushkar Mela. Every November, when the moon can be seen in the clearest air of the year, Pushkar Mela starts at Pushkar in Rajasthan. It is held for 4 days before the full moon and lasts until the full moon night. By the lake, there is a temple of Lord Brahma, the supreme Hindu god and the creator of cosmos and the world. The temple is the center of attractions for many pilgrims. The Mela accompanies with a big market where thousands of camels are brought for sale. So it is called Camel Fair. Note some interesting faces as you will see in the Mela. Sonpur Mela. Sonpur is in the Bihar state, located near Patna. Largest cattle fair takes place on the banks of river Ganges during the months of October and November. The fair lasts for a month. Cattle, especially elephants, brought from all over India are sold. Some of the cattle are nicely decorated in order to draw attention. Kumbh Mela. Kumbh Mela is organized to celebrate the achievement of the pitcher of nectar or noble ideas. Thousands of years ago, when human history was in its first phase, perhaps a fierce battle of existence was fought between good and evil forces. The pitcher was the final outcome of this struggle. Later, the great sages gave it a mythological basis to make it understandable to the common man. Kumbh Mela is celebrated at various pilgrimage centers every 3 years in the month of April. Purna Kumbh comes in 12 years. Most important centers are Hardwar, Allahabad, Nasik and Ujjain. Millions of Hindus feel even today there is probably nothing holier than taking a dip in the holy waters at the time of Kumbh. The Mahamastakabhishek. Mastakabhishek is held in a small town near Mysore, located in Karnataka state. It is observed once in every 12 to 14 years by the Jains in the month of February. Pilgrims come from all over the world to participate in the Mastakabhishek ceremony. The central point is a 57 feet high statue of the Jain sage Lord Bahubali, also known as Gomateshwar. Priests climb up the scaffolding, specially erected along the back of the statue, and perform the Mahamastakabhishek. 1008 pots of sacred water are poured over the head of Lord Bahubali, followed by the ritual bathing of the statue with milk, ghee which is purified butter, curds, silver and gold coins, flowers, vermilion, saffron and sandalwood. The high priests of the Digambar sect, who do not wear clothes, join hands in prayers each time the statue is showered with holy offerings. Chandrabhag Yatra. Chandrabhag Yatra is a famous festival on the bank of river Chandrabhag near Konarak, Orissa. The festival is dedicated to sun god and takes place in the merging point of the river and the sea.